Hey everybody, this is Chris, MTGO's Rec Start, and welcome back to Show and Tell, the ongoing audio-video deck tech and replay series that covers the decks of the Legacy Tribal Wars format as they are played every week in the Tribal Apocalypse Player Run event. And I had a good week this week. I got my second win of the year, and I was using the blue-black Tezzeret control deck with Tribal Birds that I've featured previously, and I'm sure I'll be talking a little bit about it in the article this week. So let's get right to the replays. This is my round one against Raf.Azevedo, who is playing a Living End deck with mutants. He's very experienced pilot of that deck. He's played it several times. Basically, you're trying to dump your own guys into the graveyard and then cascade into a Living End, wiping the opponent's board and bringing back all the guys that you pitched there. So I mold something and then kept this, which looked like it would be good if I got one land because of the double Strixes. And you'll see that I do miss the first drop. He's got an Urborg, which is actually going to fix my mana here once I do get a land and allow me to cast a Baleful Strix that I wouldn't otherwise have. And he's got a Street Wraith, and there I've got a Baleful Strix. Draws me into my third land, and he's going to cycle again. And okay, now here let's stop. Okay, all right. He Demonic Dreads onto the Baleful Strix. That one requires a creature to be in play. And Cascades here. And this is not a very good... now, he would have 7 power in play, but Raph is a very experienced pilot of this, so I wonder if A, he was maybe trying to bait out a Force of Will, which if I didn't have 2, I might not have done, but of course I don't have another blue right now, so I'd have to draw into it. But I do go ahead and force this, but nevertheless, this is not a particularly strong one. I wonder if he was trying to bait it, or if he just thought that since I had been hung up on mana and didn't have a lot going on, that maybe these guys would be enough to just beat me down. Not really sure, but anyways, I did go ahead and Force of Will that. And then thankfully drew another Strix, so I can now hold that one open for the subsequent Living End. Now he's going to transmute the Dimmer Machinations for a Living End. And I'm just going to suit up this Baleful Strix. It's going to finish him off very quickly because his tech keeps a lot of cards in hand. So that Sword of War and Peace is definitely going to do it. Now he goes ahead and cascades into it again here, but of course I have the other Force of Will. And that puts him dead on board. I don't know what he could have possibly had there. So that takes care of that. And so double Force of Will gets it done. Like I've always said, you need to have a little bit of game against combo with your control decks. You can't just plan on controlling creatures and ignore combo. Now here I've got a good hand with a couple Damnations and a Force of Will, and he decides he's only running 6 of the Cascade spells and 1 thing to transmute them. I don't know if he just didn't draw one here, but he ends up going on the beatdown plan. And this is a big guy that he's morphed. I didn't know really what it was, so I went ahead and treated it like something that might screw me up if it hit me, because I'm never really sure about those morph guys. But it's actually just the big 13/13 guy that he's morphed here, which is a good plan. It gets him into the graveyard. So, and then he takes out my Strix there. And he's still just beating down. I've got a bird. With the 2 Damnations in hand, not too worried about his beatdown plan here. That guy I am a little bit worried about, since he's only a couple mana away from getting to activate that Invoker every turn. So here I take a little bit of a chance here. Next turn I'm going to suit up this Aven Riftwatcher and swing. I know I'm not dead on the crackback, but I really, if this was sort of War and Peace, I think it would have been more sense, but sort of Fire and Ice, I'm taking a huge risk here because he cracks me back all the way to 2, and I got a fetch land, and I can't activate it and still force, so all the way down to 2. Now I'm going to raft the board, gain 2 more life to go back to 4. and then I'm safe to blow the Delta, and I still have a cushion to force will as subsequent play. I'm going to run out a Parasitic Strix here, I believe. Yes. And next turn, I'm going to be able to finish the game quickly. One of the great things about Tezzeret is there are several ways he can enable you to quickly finish a game, and this is one of them. I'm going to go ahead and make this a 5/5 flyer and suit him up with the sword, and he cycles a Street Wraith looking to see if he has a Cascade spell in the Living End, but he does not get there. So that finishes round 1, and I will be back for the next round's coverage in just a moment.